right, so we're going to conjugate some verbs today. Conjugate, which means to change them to match their pronouns. And we're going to start in the present tense, so things that are happening right now. And we're going to only focus on regular verbs. So not like être and avoir that are irregular. We're going to follow the pattern that regular verbs have, which we like a lot. So to start off with, we have 3 sets of verbs. We have verbs in French that end in ER. We have verbs in French that end in IR. And we have verbs in French that end in RE. And so, as long as they're considered regular, we're just going to follow this pattern right here. And the first thing we're going to do when we conjugate our verbs is to drop the ER. We're going to chop off the ER, chop off the IR, and chop off the RE. And we're going to just add endings on, if you remember from last year, based on our pronouns or our nouns, depending on what we are using as our noun in the sentence. And so we have to just match them up. And so if these were our endings, for ER we would add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, and ENT to the verb after we've dropped the ER. And for IR, we would add IS, IS, IT, ISS, ONS, lots of O, ISSEZ. I hope you're writing notes right now. I'll just pause for a second while you go, why is Madame talking so much? Oh, that's right. You're supposed to be writing these down so you can use them in your notes. What? And RE is SS nothing. You add nothing. You just leave it in the stem. ONS, EZ, ENT. So that's the basic of conjugating verbs. But there's some exceptions and a couple little things we need to look at. So let's take a look at that in our next page here. So if I wanted to say I speak French and I say, oh, what is the verb to speak? Once you've figured that out, then you've got that either in your head or on your paper. And the first thing you're going to do is drop off that ER. And you're left with the stem, so you know where to start. Once you have your stem, then you have to figure out what your noun is in the sentence or your pronoun. And that would be je. So if I'm writing my sentence, so then this is je. And then I already have my stem, so I'm going to write my stem down. Oh, there it is. And then I'm going to look on my chart and go, what is the ending for je? And match that up. And it is E. So we're going to add a little E here and finish the rest of the sentence. Le français. That's as easy as it is. If it is another verb, like if it was we, let's change that color. We, I didn't want red. We vomit the pizza. Why not? It was a bad pizza. There was a lot of mold on it. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what our verb is. Oh, look, there's our verb. And then we're going to either write it down somewhere or just keep it in our head, knowing that it's there. Then the first thing we're going to do is chop off our IR so we have our little stem. And then we got to go find our noun. Oh, look, there's our noun. So it's new. We looked on our chart and we saw that the new form, there's my stem, for IR verbs, I have to add the ending ISS ONS. And then we add the rest of the sentence, la pizza, and we've now been able to say we vomit the pizza. And let's look at the RE verbs. So if I was to conjugate, say, he waits for the bus. First thing I'm going to do, what am I going to do is find my verb. What is my verb? Sometimes you don't know the verb. And so you've got to look it up. And as I looked it up on my list of verbs or in my notebook or in Google, I find out it's attendre. What's the first thing you have to do? Is drop your R-E. There's our stem waiting for us so we can write our sentence. Then we're going to go with what's our noun in our sentence? What is our noun? What is our noun? No, that's the wrong sentence. He is our noun. So we know then to write down il. Then I write down my stem, which is attendre. There's my stem because that's just the ending is the stem. And then what is the ending for il? If you looked it up, there is no ending. It's nothing. I don't do anything. I just leave it in the stem. That's so confusing, madame, but it's really not. For la pizza. Oh, no, we're not waiting for the pizza. Hello, madame. We are waiting for the bus. Le bus. Bloop. Okay. How easy is that? So one more thing I just wanted to make you aware of. The new form. Go back to your chart. And I believe you have the chart for ER, IR, and RE down if you actually did what I needed you to do. And then on this part right here, where it has the je and the tu and the il and the nu and the vous and the ils, unfortunately, some verbs, if you would put a line around the ONS that you wrote down for your ending, which is right here, would you just put a red square around the new, and only in the ER form do you add, madame, we add an E if the verb is a GER. If it's a GER verb, once we drop that ER, we got to keep a little E in there before we put the ONS. And we only do this in the new form, and it's just a sound. It's just to make it sound right. Okay? So that's an exception to the rule that you got to add in there. And then if you do the negative, we need to look at if we do the negative, we put the ne pas around the verb. So put this down. I'll wait while you get your pen. Je ne vomis. Let's make that black. Let's make that blue. Vomis. And then pas. If I didn't vomit, I would write this ne pas. And notice where it goes around my verb. It goes around it like a sandwich. The ne goes in front, the pas goes in the back, and that means don't or not for the negative. Okay? So that's it for today. Make sure these are in your notes. We will have a quiz on Friday that you get to use your notes, so you want to make sure you have those in there.